All right, so the replacement has been found. Washington Huskies football coach Kalen DeBoer expected to become the new head man at the University of Alabama, replacing the greatest coach of all time, Nick Saban. And Alabama had to move quickly after kind of a surprising, shocking retirement earlier in the week by Nick Saban. Alabama had to move quickly, go get a guy, because this is a critical time for college football. Lock in the transfers, guys leaving for the NFL draft, and the recruiting window still here coming up, National Signing Day. It's a big critical time, and they have to get some stability in there. And I think this is a good hire for Alabama. DeBoer was probably the best they could have done with the options available to them. There were guys like Steve Sarkisian out there. He's pretty set up now at Texas. Lane Kiffin, do you really want to deal with Kiffin? Dabo and Clemson, they're on a down, even though Dabo is an alum. DeBoer's had a meteoric rise as a Division I head coach. He's like 37-9 in his 4 seasons as a Division I head coach, 12-6 in his 2 years at Fresno State 4 years ago. And then the last 2 seasons with the Huskies, 25-3. And he made a really quick turnaround. Washington was down. They weren't very good in 2020. He instantly comes in, flips this program around, and he does it by the transfer portal. He's really brought in guys, got them to quickly turn around the roster, and that's key. He's got to be able to adapt with the new modern times in the college football. But guess what? He does have some downsides to him. Not great in the recruiting. Washington's recruiting classes in the low 20s, almost 30 now nationally. Now, I know Washington doesn't quite have the resources that obviously an Alabama program has that's been the most dominating force in college football for the last 15 years. But I don't love to be the guy that replaces the guy. This is kind of an unfair setup for DeBoer. He's a good head coach. He's had major success winning against good teams. Beat Dan Lanning 3 times, 3-0 against Dan Lanning, 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian, 2-0 against Lincoln Riley. Those are your best, biggest teams that you've played, and he's dominated them. But the South and the SEC is a whole other beast. He has 0 connections to the South, 0 connections to the ACC, which is already going to hurt his recruiting game. Like I said, he isn't a great recruiter. He's a good roster builder, good at identifying guys, but he ain't a crushing it on the recruiting trail. He's going to have to bring in some very experienced Southern coaches to get into that recruiting base, because Alabama has a great foundation, but that could easily wash away Kirby Smart, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma. All these schools can kind of instantly slide on in there and deplete your recruiting foundation that Saban has set up nationally. Alabama is the place to go if you want to be the guy, but DeBoer has shown he can win in big spots. I'm a little nervous though. Like I said, this is going to be a home run, absolute massively great hire, or an unmitigated disaster. There is no average. There is no kind of good in here. It's really hard to be the guy to replace the guy. And Nick Saban is not the guy. He is the guy, the greatest college football coach ever to coach the game. So the expectations are unbelievably difficult. I mean, if you're not in a national championship game within 2 or 3 seasons, you are instantly on the hot seat, especially with the expanded playoff, 12-team playoff now. The SEC is getting probably 4 teams in every year. I know it's a stacked up conference, but you're going to have to do the dirty work and get in there. And this is where we could see some struggling. Now, a lot of people around DeBoer are big believers in him, how quickly he turned around Washington. He's looked good in big games. Now, we do have to mention the national semifinal. I have a problem with his game management. Game management is atrocious. If Steve Sarkisian isn't a bozo inside the 20-yard line at the end of that Sugar Bowl, we're talking about the greatest collapse and screw-up by a head coach in the history of football, maybe, letting Texas back into that game. So he's really going to have to focus and hire a game management guy. But from an X's and O's standpoint, people seem to love him. He seems to be a quarterback guru, turning guys around. Now, Michael Penix was a good quarterback. He turned Michael Penix into an elite passer when he got to Washington. Michael Penix was not this guy. He was arguably the best quarterback in the country. Didn't have a great national championship game against the best defense he faced, but he was lighting up a decent Pac-12. Not the best defenses in the world, but he had a really good games against Oregon, who are a pretty solid unit overall. This is a very interesting kind of an out-of-the-box move. Alabama doesn't always do this stuff. They there is a culture in the SEC and in the South. It's a real thing. Now, I expect DeBoer to bring in keep a lot of his staff, even though you're going to have to get on it with some recruiters and position guys, but they've been with him forever. His defensive coordinator and his offensive coordinator were with him at Sioux Falls in the early 2000s. They've followed with him. They've stayed true to their guy, and it was a winning formula in Washington. I just hate to have this kind of pressure on me. Like I said, this could be a home run. Kalen DeBoer could be the guy, and Alabama is the next program that just runs a 30-year dominating arc. Maybe not as dominant, but if you were talking a national championship every 5 to 7 years at Alabama, that's still an incredible thing. And you're competing in the SEC or for the SEC championship every other year. He could just be that guy, or this is going to be awful. Alabama falls off a cliff. They don't win. They struggle. He can't adapt to these kind of games, and he isn't able to keep up with that kind of recruiting. Even though they have all the resources, sometimes you got to be able to just hang with the big dogs. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I think this is the best hire Alabama could have got with guys like Steve Sarkisian staying. I would have personally wanted to get Dan Lanning, but it was a little expensive. Dan Lanning, also not a great game management guy. Don't get me wrong, but he has those ties that are so reporting and recruiting. Like I said, very interested to see. Good hire by Alabama overall, and it wasn't super expensive. Honestly, it was only a $12 million buyout from Washington, probably a $10 million a year contract. So it's big when you think about it, probably a 7-8 year commitment. So going to be around $100 million, but that's chump change. A&M's paying Jimbo Fisher $75 million not to coach their team. So in the SEC, it just means more. So good hire overall by Alabama. I'll be interested to see what the next phase is. Can he be a guy that replaces the guy? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this a good hire? Do you think he'll be successful? Or are we about to see Alabama fall off a cliff? Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to support the channel more, click that join button. Sign up for a channel membership. You get access to early videos, exclusive videos, badges, emojis, things to use in a live stream throughout the year. Help support me. Allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.